Hey folks, welcome back. Tim here again, Gamma Vidi. Thanks for tuning in today. Super pumped on this one. Brand new product. It's our new dashboard accessory mount for Gen 2.5 Toyota Tundra. Let's install one, get right into it. Passenger vehicles. So to remove this part, we just need to take out this factory speaker grill. Take your favorite pry tool, trim removal tool, and just gently pry those up. Just plastic holding it on, easy. And then undo the wiring for the little headlight sensor. And there you go. Take that out, and we're gonna reuse this actual headlight sensor. So just set that aside. Your next move then is take a 10mm and you're going to undo the two bolts that hold the speaker down. You're going to remove those bolts, and we're not going to use them again either. And just to reiterate what we're doing, we're replacing this speaker grill with something more functional. So a lot of other companies are doing something where they take this off, you're drilling through, pull the nav off, drill holes, add a plate here. I personally like this thing. I like putting stuff up here in this dish. I don't want to lose that, so instead chose to repurpose this speaker grill and provide the same utility just a little bit further back on the dash. So this works for the Gen 2.5 Tundra, to be clear. That's what, 2014 to 2022, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. So it's not the first Gen 2 Tundra. It's after that refresh, that they did. I think it was 14 though. So ask me if you have any questions there. So part of this installation is deciding what you want to put up here. My first things are, I'm doing a socket meter USB charging port using one of these ARB socket holders. Link to that on the website. On this side is just a switch, so that I don't have to have this on all the time, but when I switch it on, of course I see battery voltage. Running, some quick disconnects, so when I can take this on and off if I need to in the future, and it just positive goes through the switch and completes the loop. So really not much to it. This is all coming off my second battery with wires that, going down through the firewall in the dash. Install video on the 2008 to 15 Land Cruiser shows you how to run the wiring there, but just want to show that really quick. So got some nice clean threads in there, two up here ready to go, and one over here for my single ram mount. And then it's just a matter of screwing these on. And if you don't want to reuse this T-bolt, you can use, of course, any now 1/4 bolt. It all works. So yeah, install them and we're almost there. There we go. So installed. Here's what the other side of that looks like. Again, no nuts because the plate's my nut. And I did use the T-bolt here, but I didn't have to. It's really an appearance thing. Or maybe if you already have one, use that one. Otherwise, just choose the one you like. If you like what this looks like, that looks like, just go that way. You don't need the track. And this part is actually so short that the tracks, they really don't fit that well. So that's what we've come up with. But again, I've got enough for a phone, a tablet, whatever, and a couple of chargers. That's all I need. Now here's where the install gets fun. For the headlight sensor, it's really just a press fit. I did my best to measure this, draw a hole, compensate for the shrinkage of the laser, and then add back in the buildup of the powder coat. The result is you push that guy in there and it stays put, and should stay put. Of course, if it doesn't, we can add a little bit of glue around it, or I could even develop an attachment method that spans these bolts here. Waiting for feedback. I'm waiting for real life experience. I've had the prototype now a couple months. few thousand miles. Haven't noticed that headlight sensor moving one bit. So I think we're good to go. But of course, I'm ready to adapt if proven otherwise. But for now, it's just a press fit in there. Now, installing this to the truck is even cooler. We're using a couple M6 by 40 millimeter bolts, and they each have a couple nuts on there. I've got a basically a flange nut facing downward, and then just a normal nut, and those two are going to get pressed together. I've always called this a jam nut. So the idea is we're using the same holes that hold that speaker down, and this bolt now will hold that speaker down and simultaneously hold down this new panel. So it might take you a couple tries to get that adjustment just right, but let's see how I do. Well, almost made it the first try, but here's my bolt, attempt one, and I've got, geez, probably 7-8 millimeters of space between the bottom of the screw head flange and the top of the plate. So I just need to back it out again, and it's the same on both bolts, even though you can't see this one. But I'm going to back this out, and then I'm just going to make an adjustment and put it right back down. So check it out. Much better that time, so I could feel the speaker tightening just as I tightened this bolt, and it's exactly where I want to be. I want both of them snug. Of course, once this is pushed down, it can't move relative to the dash, and that speaker is going to be pinned in the bolt. So its worst case is that it might rattle or jiggle a little bit. So that's your adjustment, or that's your feedback on how well you did. But I think you can dial this in, you know, maybe 2 tries, 3 tries. I'll pull this apart and show you what that distance is right now, though. And here's a pick underneath now. So those nuts are about halfway. You could call it about 1 inch of thread below the lower nut there, and maybe you know, 7/16 between the nut and the plate. So should give you an idea. Of course, I got my headlight sensor all attached. My wires are attached, and I made sure I didn't pinch anything before I snugged it down. So put this down one more time. So there you go. My screws are tight. This part is tight. I just can't move this. It's down to the bezel. This guy snaps, ready to go. And yeah, I'm installed. And there you go. So, you know, the idea is you accessorize. Add your phone, add a tablet, GPS, maybe a radio head unit. I'll say it again, don't drive distracted, but by all means take advantage of another place to mount some accessories and retain the kind of factory dish for, you know, tossing things up there occasionally. It's nice sometimes when you're just out camping, you plug your phone in here, you lay it in the dish, and you know it, away you go. So anyway, I think you get the idea. Of course, let me know your questions. Please tell me what else you want to see on these videos and in products. And as always, see you on the next one.